Morning, you guys. Um, Today, I just wanted to talk to you guys about my journey. I have been fasting for quite a while now, actually. So, I'm gonna talk about fasting from different perspectives. I'm gonna talk about fasting in general. Then, I'm gonna add a little bit of the spiritual aspect of fasting based on my personal experience, my personal journey, and my knowledge up until today. Up until my 22 years of living, basically. But obviously, it is a summation of different philosophies, and I'm actually now like 5 years into my personal development journey. Yeah, like 5 years of like intense study every day of how life works, how the brain works, how spirituality works, how the body works, how to get results, and all of that. So don't let the age fool you. It has been a lot of work behind the scene, seeming like things are not piecing together. But then obviously you can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backward. And then everything starts to make sense when you look backwards. But when you set your goal there in the future, you can't see how exactly you're going to get there. And then every day seems like an obstacle. But then you taking consistent action, when you zoom out of the days, zoom out of the weeks, zoom out of the months, look at the 5 years, you're actually progressing. But the days are up and down like this. Feel like you're not progressing. You win, you lose, you win, you lose. Thank you. I see people that wake up early are positive. This guy is literally letting me pass. Maybe he's inspired. Like, who's this Jack guy talking to people at 5 a.m. in the morning? I should probably know him. He will know me. Anyway, so fasting 101. So now I have this. I've added into my routine fasting every Wednesday. So like every Wednesday, I fast. I don't eat after 6 a.m. until 6 p.m. in the night, right? But then before that, I had another fast that I was on. Okay, ngitshela ukuthi kufanele manje ngiqale ke. Ngiveza ukuthi ngijimelani. Moja bafu. Guys, I'm from Enanda, so I stay ready. Like, I have to stay ready. So, fasting. The other fast that I was doing was, I was fasting music, fasting social media, which is Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Fasting music, that is like hip hop, you know. And it was very much a game changer for me, because I was at a point where I was in trouble, guys, like deep trouble, deep trouble. And there's a quote that goes, when the material world collapses, the spiritual world rises, right? But you have to submit to that spiritual world, because as I usually say, that God has this vision in heaven, and that he wants to see manifested here on earth. And his only hindrance is the unwilling and unconsenting vessels down here. So God really wants to see something here on earth. He wants to see that guy that doesn't have any vices, that doesn't smoke, doesn't drink, doesn't engage in unproductive activities. The guy that is inspirational, the guy that you needed as a kid. Like, imagine if you knew of a guy who went to the gym consistently, who showed up for his goals, who was responsible, who didn't drink, who didn't take advantage, who was responsible. Imagine if you had that as a kid. Like, wouldn't that positively impact you? And then now on the flip side, imagine you being that onto your small cousins, small nephews, and then eventually your family, society. How valuable is that? That's the vision that God wants to see now in 2025. But unfortunately, God can't manifest that vision because he needs willing vessels. He needs people that are willing to drop the vices, to drop the that of the physical world, so that the spiritual world, he can that person can align himself with the spiritual world and see and feel the spiritual purpose. Like when I was fasting, the music and all of that other stuff, obviously the hub and girls, I was also fasting that. Like I heard the voice so clearly, and obviously it is through suffering that we align ourselves with our purpose. But self-inflicted suffering that, because obviously God I think is a very quote unquote jealous God. He wants someone that is gonna rely on him fully. Like, I'm gonna tell you guys a very funny story. So when I was starting my Herbalife journey, I'd see people say, fueled by God and then powered by Herbalife. And in my very limited thinking, I wanted to move Herbalife products. I didn't, this God thing, I felt like young Bambezel, it was holding me back. So I always used to remove that quote. Like anyone who posted something like that and I wanted to repost it, I would just take out the God part. I'd like, no, powered by Herbalife. God, we'll see him later. And then obviously God was like, oh, okay. Oh, you can do it alone. All right. Bye-bye. Okay. Go ahead. And we know how that went. Dismal failure in business. Like failing with flying colors, basically. The first 4 years of my Herbalife journey was failing. Obviously, Pella, I was using the products and training, so that helped. But then in terms of growth, monetarily, it was very bad. It was very bad. And had I answered the call of God earlier on, I would be further along. But there's never a wrong time. It's all in God's timing. And then obviously, because there was a test, now there's a testimony. Had I not fumbled and had I not walked in the darkness, I wouldn't be a testimony to someone else to say, hey, bro, it's possible for you to mess up and then change. You're messing up and turn your mess into massive success. Because I was just even talking to Gary, my boy, as we were training yesterday, about how my other boy, Gift, we usually have this lunch after church Sundays, and then we just talk about life. My boy Gift said something that just went straight into my soul, bro. He said, so there was a story, I think it was Peter. Obviously Jesus had walked on water, right? And then Peter also attempted to walk on water. And things were going good. He was kind of floating. The boy was floating. And then he started feeling himself. And he eventually started sinking. And as he was sinking, I think the scripture says that he took his eye off God, right? He took his eye off Jesus, and he started doubting, yo, is this really happening? And then, as fate would have it, he started sinking. But as he was sinking, Jesus didn't betray him or anything like that and say, yeah, you stopped believing in me. Middle finger to you, sink, nigga, you're on your own. No. Jesus still reached his hand out and said, hey, focus on me. Oh, you of little faith. I'm not sure of the exact words. But then he was just reminding him that, hey, keep the belief up. And then one sees one rescue from that situation. And then that's what happens with us too. Like once we start drowning because we start engaging in these vices, like for example, maybe you were consistent with the gym and then you stopped for 1 week, and then that 1 week turns into 2 weeks, and then maybe you also started drinking, and then maybe you also started doing things that you're not proud of. Once you start doing that consistently, that shame and guilt, it makes you feel like you're in too deep and it's over for you. And what's the point of you even going back to the gym, because you're gonna fall off again? But then His grace, bro. He's like, bro, nah, it's fine. You've been messing up. Like me as well. I always tell you guys my vices that I had to overcome, the girls, the hub. He's like, nah, Luandle, it's fine. Come here. No, it's fine. I can still use you. That test that you're now passing through your daily actions, is going to be a testimony, and you're going to be able to lift others up, because God's vision for our life, as long as we are living, never stops. Many are the plans in a man's heart, but the Lord's purpose shall prevail. That's found in the book of Proverbs. What is the Lord's purpose for your life? It's that voice that you keep hearing. You see, once you remove the drugs, the alcohol, the girls, the music, the hip hop, you just focus on yourself, you start improving yourself, you're going to start hearing that voice. Okay, do this. There's this vision that you've always had as a kid, but then it will just become more crystal clear once you start removing these other things. And the more you sacrifice, the more loud that voice becomes. Like even yesterday because it's hard, guys, like fasting is hard, it's not easy. But I just knew that it's the things that's hard for you that's going to take you to the next level. Because at this point now, fasting girls is not that hard for me. Fasting the hub is not that hard for me. Fasting junk food is not that hard for me. But what's hard to me? What's hard to me is fasting healthy food. What's hard to me is fasting coffee or the Herbalife products and saying, no, for the whole day. Because when Jesus was walking in the wilderness and he got tempted by the devil, and the devil said, hey, you can have some food, come on now. And Jesus was fasting, right? He said, no. Man shall not eat bread only, but he shall also eat the words of the Lord, right? Quote unquote. You should also live through Christ and let his teachings and his wisdom and his kingdom be the one that guides you and fuels you. And then obviously, after you eat a meal, you're satisfied, you feel happy, you're fine. But when you have that hunger, but then that hunger has a purpose of connecting you to the higher power, that's when the voice gets loud as hell and you're able to communicate with the spiritual realm, because obviously the physical now is suffering. And that's where God is like, okay, now you're ready for this message. It's the same thing even with giving. Like you see at church, when I don't have money the most, that's when I give the most. I know we're not supposed to say how much we're giving and all of that, but that's just me showing God that God, whatever that I thought was my God, this money or my material things, they are not my God. I can survive without them, but I can't survive without you. Why? Because who's God? God is almighty, all powerful, all knowing, all potential, and he created us in his image. So in order for us to live in that image of his that he created us in and likeness, in order for us to be all powerful, all knowing, all present, because there is a way to become that, and there are human beings who do that as well in their own way and in their own creativity, is for us to rely fully on him. So if I'm going to say, I know I need this money in order to do this, I need this money in order to do this, I want to keep it, God is like, oh, okay, all right, use that money, okay, it's fine. Yeah, let's see how far that money takes you. But if I'm like, take this money away from me, I don't have money for rent, fine, I'm still going to show up and do what you sent me here to do. I don't care. I'm going to go all out. Even if, not what if I don't have enough money for rent. Even if I don't have enough money for rent, I'm still going to wake up at 2:45 and serve your people and live your purpose. I've been all over the show, guys. You guys can do your own research on fasting. But whatever that's difficult for you, if you're able to sacrifice that, that's going to align you with your purpose. Because pain is the prerequisite to purpose. It is through because obviously when we succeed, we party, but when we fail, we ponder. And it is through the pondering that greatness now, you're able to connect with it, because that's suffering. Throughout history, it has always been suffering that was the mother of innovation. Had we been comfortable, we wouldn't have innovated and we wouldn't have been creative. So that discomfort that you're experiencing, that's the next level. You conquering that is what's going to propel you. And I've also shared how it has propelled me, the suffering and all of that. Because suffering is sacrificing that of a lesser nature for that of a higher nature. It's letting go of what you want now for what you want most. That's discipline. Today we're training training biceps and triceps. So my chest pec is still bad, but yeah, it's gonna be a crazy workout. Let's get it.